Well, either you do shit or you don't you? And I does shit. I hope. Yeah. Let's test this before I do anything else. Oh, I noticed that something's gone wrong already whilst I've been looking elsewhere. Evidently active desktop has crashed. You know, this is what I mean. You just can't... You can't live with this shit. This is why I don't test things before I stream, because it's pointless. Like, if I do, it'll just break anywhere. That's why I don't bother. I've said before, there's no point in testing these things. Now, let's see if Need for Speed's music gets pulled up for copyright. Or if it just flat out don't run, maybe, I don't know. Let me check the volume of this a little bit. Gets pulled up for copyright. Oh, lag, that's nice. Or if it just flat out don't run. Well, that's not too bad. Maybe a notch down. And now I'm just going to look away and assume everything's working. I haven't even tested my steering wheel. It might not work. So let's do a knockout competition. I'm streaming, should I turn it? I feel like we should do it easy because I'm going to be talking, haven't I? Might ramp it up if... God damn it. What is this shit? Get this out of here. Let's move my stupid chart. Yeah. Fuck it, race! Come on!
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, we see. I probably won't just do this, but this is probably the only game I'm going to play today. Let me know if the volume's like shit for you or anything, because that certainly sounds louder than the music did. Definitely sounds louder than the music did. But I can't test right now. But yeah, if we breeze through this, I'll ramp the difficulty up for the next thing. I'm only going to do this for about an hour and a half today. And, yeah, I sort of want this to double as like an update. But, shit, I'm used to handling a Lamborghini. You know, I've noticed live streams, they get a hell of a lot more views than pre-recorded shit, so, you know, I want to know where to go with this channel. Like, what should I focus more on? There is some stuff I definitely intend to pre-record, but beyond that, what do we focus on more?
Final lap.
See you though. Howdy, lame guy. No control lag on this one. I am going to have to play with that. I'm quite intrigued by your reports of that happening, because I've never played a game that handles it that way, and I want to recreate that somehow. They should be able to do it with all that particularly shoddy network hardware. Be able to route this through. Hopefully the volume levels are alright for you over there, because I can't test right now. That was terrible. Oh god. I'm losing my... Oh, you sons of bitches, I'll just go around. Or not. Wow. Oh, we cocked it. Well, it's a knockout. I just have to not come last, but I'm not going to catch him now. That's that. With that fucking Billy Madison You Blew It clip. This is why you don't drive with only one wheel. Alright, that's good to know. That son of a bitch. He zipped past me. I'm not catching. He's gone. I'm not catching him. Well, it's a good thing I put it on beginner mode, you know.
You placed third.
Hit the wall. The other thing I hope is that the wheel isn't causing a racket in the microphone, because if it is, I can't do anything about that. I've got like rubber there, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to dampen it.
Three, two, one.
Engine sounds pretty gash in this game, really. I quite like this track, this level. It has that nasty hairpin in it, but it's not bad. It's just ramming off the road. Yeah, basically. No, there's shortcuts in some tracks that let you get ahead, but the one in this track, unless executed perfectly, it doesn't give you enough of an advantage, really. I mean, I'm going to attack it when I get there, but... The other thing here is this car's ridiculously quick, so really you've only got one or two AI cars that are going to have this same model, and they're the only ones that are really going to be able to catch you. I mean, you can see in the times that, well, I don't know, the quality might not be good enough if your internet's not able to stomach the full resolution, but there's a good... Like, we're about 4 or 5 seconds behind the next two cars, and then it's 10 seconds. It doubles for the next one. That'll be a Diablo or something back there. Yeah, I'll graze the wall. I won't lose that much speed. Too lazy to lift my foot off the gas. It's not my car. We can total the thing. We'll just say someone else did it. We'll do a runner when we get it back to the showroom. I'm only renting it in your name. You're going to get the bill for this. Yeah, I'm contemplating still the future of this channel though, like what's going to get more focus, more live, more pre-recorded. I don't know. Maybe some other stuff. Because other stuff was always on the cards.
It's the final lap.
Maybe I should film that engineering project and put that here to destroy some of that fence on the way by. It's not steering right. That's really not steering right. What the hell is up with that? It's just one little bit of sand and the handling goes to hell. I suppose it would at these kinds of speeds though. I mean, if your wheel isn't gripping something, the car's just going to keep going the same way. That's... oh dear. I don't want to be up there. Oh, that wasn't scripted at all. And they're gaining on me. Now I'm paranoid, so I'm going too fast. Yeah, this shortcut here, I don't know if this one's really worth it, because you've got to slow down that far to get around it. It'll be interesting to see how this stream goes, because the thing with this game, it's not really the best game to stream, and I sure as shit wouldn't do this one pre-recorded, because it's a one-trick pony, really, racing games. Like Interstate 76 you could probably get away with because the game's goofy, it does stupid shit. Whereas this game works, so there's... And like, I always do something with this channel because I've got no backlog, I've got absolutely nothing recorded for it. I'm used to it, it seems weird to like have nothing on the pile right now.
You placed first.
Your friend Durst.
Congratulations! You've qualified for the next round of knockout competition.
Oh, that's stale. No problem. It won't kill me. Oh god, oh my garbage is in shot.
3, 2, 1, go!
Did somebody just ram the back of my car, or was that handling bit funny again? Faster, you bastard car! Not pulling enough of a lead here. It's all about this corner up here. That was close, that was not well played. That corner, it's all about that one and these ones. Hit that bend, hit that bend, hit that one. This one ain't too bad. But this one here, you've got to get the speed right. Otherwise you're going to flip the car. Actually requires quite a bit of concentration. It's the other reason it's really not a good game to let's play or stream with, really, but so not going to stop me. I wanted to do it anyway, so I'm doing it anyway. Now let's stick to the road. Just for the hell of it. I'm far enough ahead that I can fuck around. If I slow down, fuck slowing down. Slowing down's for fucking pussies. It's got quite a good few moments this level. Like that. It's like, how quick do you dare go through that?
The lap record. It's the final.
Did I? Oh, cool. I'm surprised. That was quite a sloppy lap, really. Maybe I haven't done it in this car yet. I've only just unlocked this not long ago. How fast are we going? 186 miles an hour. Slow. I want to go faster. I want to do 200. I want to do 486 miles an hour. I mean, you can do 88 miles an hour. There's no reason you can't do 84, 86 miles an hour. No reason at all. Pentium 4s. Well, that goddamn computer lab's going to be on fire by the time you're done, I'm sure. Switch them all on at once, watch the wallpaper melt, watch the paint start peeling off of the ceiling. I don't care if it's a hell of a cell, a rage in a cage, a penis in Uranus. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Oh. Yeah, that was too fast through there.
Lap record. You placed first.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So that was a good thing with the Pentium D. You got cold in winter, you needed a bit more heat, but yeah, that one run a bar heater, that's a bit overkill. Turn the Pentium D on. Just leave it there with like CPU barn running or something. Yeah, well, I don't blame them for insisting on running Windows.
1, go!
And so, I want to actually get work done. I'll use Linux if you'll pay me for the overtime it's going to cause. Would be my argument. Have to learn a new system. Don't like this level. Really don't like this track. It's a bad track. The snow-covered version of it's more fun, but it's more challenging. It's actually worse to drive on than this. Yeah, don't like these corners. And there's one in particular coming up that I really don't like. Not for a while yet. Yeah, that's really farther away than I thought. Well, I should really slow down here, but... Is it this bit? It's this bit in it. I need to... No, it's the next one. This, I fucking hate this corner. Because that's a sheer wall over there. Well, over there to you. Jeez. Like, if you hit it, you'll track there. You'll lose a lot of time. Rather slow down than roll it. Don't like the handling on this. I really don't. It doesn't handle good, this car. It's unruly. You don't want to be airborne. Really unruly car. And I'm just not gaining that much of a lead. They're still only 3 seconds behind.
You beat the lap record. Final lap.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mustn't have raced on these courses with this car since I unlocked it or something. Or if I did, maybe I was knackered and I did a particularly terrible job. Shouldn't be killing lap records that easily. Sucks, they're all set with the Lamborghini and I like that car better than this one really in this game, but figures if you've got a faster car you might as well use it. Yeah, an extra second, but I'm about to lose it, I think. Not even looking at that clock now. That's it, I'm gonna concentrate and see how much of a lead I can get. hit that corner. You saw that squared out area of fence on the way by, I'm sure. Dick move. Absolute dick move by the level designers. Okay, 8 seconds out. We're doing alright. Corners. Hold on, I'll be with you in a second. Took that a bit too early there. Did we flip it? Oh, I wanted to go over the line the wrong way up. Get me a car over there. Oh, you son of a...
record. You've won the race.
Yeah, it probably does.
You've qualified for the next
I
round
don't
of knockout
think
competition.
don't think the unofficial renderer that it's running helps. It has this ugly draw fog in it and shit that I don't remember the original DX5 one having. By the way, I still haven't forgotten. It's still on the to-do list. Yeah, that sucks. I wanted to roll it over the line, like, upside down and shit, but... Oh, now, I like this level.
3, 2,
But I like this level in the Lamborghini. I don't know that I like it in this car. There's some tight bends, and this car, it doesn't do corners very well. Now, the AI is staying with me pretty good right now. Like, as soon as you put your foot on the gas, it pushes itself back out. You know what? I'm not actually sure, so I'll just say no to make it easy. So here's the thing, like, a lot of people miss. I'm not really into games all that much. I'm more into the hardware that render. The game's just a side effect of it. So there's a lot of things I missed, just because I simply never paid that much attention. Damn. I'm getting cramped in my foot. It's not handling good in this course, this car. Because these corners, the AI has to really slow down to get around these, and if you can get them good, you can get a massive lead here. You can cut through them trees to the right there, but it's very risky. I wouldn't try doing it in this. I'll catch up with what's been written in a second when I get to some straighter road. Really, you do have to wrestle with this car on this level. How the hell did I get airborne there? Oh shit. Yeah, I've seen a few games that work that way. Yeah, I think that one might have passed by me. Right, now I'm behind the AI, that sucks. It doesn't matter as long as I don't come last, but I'm still not going to go down without a fight.
the lap record. It's the final lap.
I still don't know how I'm beating the record. As my record's been trashed somehow. be honest, this game doesn't look too bad, but at home I do think the leaked polygons were made way too early. Even then, I never liked the look of the N64 or the PS1 or anything. I thought it looked shit. Like, I don't care what anybody says, I will insist until the last fucking breath leaves my lungs that Yoshi's Island looks better than Super Mario 64 and does age better. If you put them both next to each other, even at the time that they were new, it's easy to see what the better looking game is, and which one plays better as well, but that's a whole nother argument. Nope, working too early now. Oh, that's more like it. Maybe I need less brakes. Yeah, that basically was. It was just, it had to be polygons. It didn't matter how shit your game was, how bad it looked. It had polygons in it, you were going to sell it. And everybody cashed in on that. Which is why I find Nintendo's entry particularly offensive, because I'd expect better from them. You know, you get shit like Bubsy 3D, the bar isn't particularly high already, so it doesn't matter. Whereas Nintendo's like, yeah, we can make games like Yoshi's Island and shit, but now we're doing a cash-in. It's like, oh, you set the bar way higher, this is comparatively worse. Hit that little leap the car does there. I will slide back out off of that snow, I'm not worried. Let's try and roll it this time.
Lap record! Congratulations! You placed first. Congratulations! You've qualified for the next round of knockout competition.
Yeah, as I just never liked the N64, right? I didn't like the look of it, and it to this day irritates me how it has that filtering on. Everything's just blurry. PC games have that same problem a lot of the time today. They just have it forced on.
Go!
It's like, if I want it to look like this, I'll smear Vaseline on my television. Just leave me alone, you know? Oh, look what level it is. Well, I go to Empire City after this, assuming I don't come last, which could happen, because this level's difficult, and I didn't save. I think I can save while I'm in a race. Oh, it looks like I can. Let's call it that. Yeah, this is going to suck when I hit go, because now my brain's slowed down. Shit. Oh no, I shouldn't try to read at the... Oh, what the fuck was that? Well, now we're done for. Yeah, tiny texture cache, no direct memory access. And what bugs me is, if you can look into the overscan area of the TV screen on a lot of games, there's like this tiny little strip at the side where that filtering isn't turned on. Just like a couple of columns of pixels, and it's like this prick tease. Banjo-Kazooie's renderer does that. And you can just see it there on the edge of the monitor, and it's like, I want it to look like that, you bastards! I mean, come on, everyone used the RF jack anyway back then. You didn't need blur filtering. The RF unit did that for you. But sometimes it's a good thing. You know, as we have established, Duke Nukem 3D on the Mega Drive looks actually quite good when you use an RF cable to play it with. On an old television, all the banding and the dithering disappears. Which makes you think the banding and dithering's probably deliberate, and that they knew you were going to do that. And that was probably how they meant you to play it. Yeah, like I said, that notion has clearly not died. I've witnessed plenty of modern games on PCs as well, where there's no excuse to have it forced on. It's a PC, you should have the option to do whatever the hell you want if you buy a game on a PC. Where it's still forced on, it's like, why? Don't like this track. Is there? I'm going to have to look into that. I don't have a Game Shark anymore. I used to have one. Or was it Pro Action Replay? Or was that not meant? Well, it was one of them anyway. And yeah, I don't have it now. I sold it years ago to pay for the Pentium D. But that doesn't mean I can't test it under emulation. And if it works on some of the games I like, well then I might have to see if I can track down another one. Fucking whore. Get back on the track! Tarn, you bastard. It's horrible. If you go off on the snow on this car, you're fucking doomed. It ain't coming back. It just understeers and understeers and understeers. I've knocked the hole. Bards the other car out of frustration. That's okay, I'll take second place. You're going home, left foot.
It's the final lap.
Oh, you've had it now, you bastards. You've had it now. Don't do that. That would be bad. Oh, my braking foot is definitely cramping up. It's getting a bit warm in this corner now. AMD athlons and all that. AMD athlons that run solely on the 5-volt rail. Rest before disaster. I've also been testing that 650 watt supply again, and it's like half the time the capacitors read just fine when you stick a meter on them. The rest of the time it just bounces all over the place. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to replace as much as I can of what's in here. Because I don't know what's wrong with it, but if I replace everything, then surely it's going to work. I won't be able to buy another one. But it all looks like off-the-shelf parts. In theory, could build another one. So all the volt regs and the fats all look like just shit you can just go and buy. Or at least find an equivalent of. Wouldn't be hard to machine heat sinks. You couldn't just go and buy some of those, you know, because you have to keep it in a certain space construct. You might have to machine them, but you could definitely do it, I think. It came down to it. Oh crap! What the fuck was that? You sons of a bitch! Get me out of here! They can set off way faster than... This is fucking awful. I'm gonna lose. It's a good job I saved, isn't it? You never know, I might be able to claw this back. Ugh. Get around that bend, you bastard car. Now Leadfoot's in fast. I think he must have had me taunting him before. Damn. You fucking bastard, I asked.
You beat the lap record. You placed first.
I just saw it drifting off to the left then at the end. I was like, should I?
Congratulations. You've qualified for the final round of knockout competition.
For the storm, we reach the shore. You give it all that I want. But wrong song.
Three.
It's the world if I took over the world. Nice. Yeah, look, my steering wheels, like, the axes on it are really, really good. If this was powered by 3DFX, it would have crashed before I got here. But yeah, look how stable that wheel is. That is beautiful. I've been in and cleaned the pots, and it's not working. I'll wait till I finish this tractor roll of fag. What did ARM did a bit of added stress ever do to anyone? It'll give me more drive to win, won't it? I'll just leave that one alone.
2, 1.
Yes!
Go.
Yeah, I still need to get that 3DFX. Wow, the AI's gunning for it today. Still need to get that 3DFX card out of that case 6. I need to figure out what I'm going to put in there, but I want to do some other projects first. I want to do my power supply repair. I want to repair that Pentium D. I want to engineer that bike. So that's gone on the back burner. Probably go with a GeForce 256. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go back to the Rattling VE. I like that car, but it just doesn't seem right in there for some reason. Well, best going on the other side because it should be that side to you. Let's keep remembering. I'm going to get a green screen, I'm going to get one of them car seats, I'm going to put a Patreon, and what I'm going to do is, like, the game, there's too much of that. The screen needs to be taken up with lots of meme gifs, like some pictures of Doritos, and carbonated beverages, and the game needs to just be, like, about half the size as the camera thing is now. And then we're going to move to Twitch TV. And also I've got a job. It'll be brilliant. Oh, that wasn't a good line to take. I knew that was coming. Oh yeah, we'll throw some of those on there. It's going to be brilliant. I'm going to become the biggest Need for Speed streamer on the internet. I've just made my mind up just now. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it'll last forever. You know, nobody will ever, like, you know, stop, like, giving a fuck about it. No, I'll never be poor. Fucking great. Hey, now, 3DFX is the best. I bet you could run... what's that? I don't know what games are out now, but you could probably run those on 3DFX card if they'd written them for Glide. But like, if 3DFX was still around, we'd have 200 GPUs on one card now. And granted, each one of them would only be about as powerful as an ATI Max 64, but there'd be 200 of them. There's so much power. It'd be ridiculous. That sucks. I'm not handling this well today. Definitely don't think I want to ramp the difficulty up just yet. Fuck. Nah, just let it drift off over here, it'll be fine. Just means I've got to brake harder on this corner. Oh no, I don't want cardboard falling on my monitor, it'll set fires. I knew it was going to happen. Oh no! We've blown it! You blew it! Spilling Madison when you need him, man. Yeah, we've blown it. We done busted it. Oh shit.
You placed last.
Throw the box in rage. You
You've
fucking...
been eliminated from the knockout competition.
It's not my fault. I had a fire hazard. Fucking... God damn it. What's it? Fucking Maplin Value DVD-ROM. You cost me the damn race, you son of a... I'm blaming this. I'm blaming the legendary MS6340. That's that fucking thing. For having one of those in the damn room, that's why it went wrong. I can see about this. What? No. How do I learn again? Really? Ah, there we go. Right, I'm rolling a cigarette. Don't start the race yet. Did it just bump me up the... No, it didn't. I thought it'd changed my position on the track. Ooh, I got a bearing going bad. I can hear it. Oh yeah, I know, you've got like a bunch of cores inside, but that's like the baby's way of doing it. 3DFX wouldn't implement it like that. They have them all in separate chips. Because that's more economical. That's better integration there. Everything should always be separate. In fact, what should happen, you should just use Sly. Like, you know, you should buy it as a Sly kit. Get like 200 cards and this special backplane you have to plug them in. And it can only render glide.
2, 1, go!
Like Direct 3D and OpenGL and shit. Vulkan. That's all done through a wrapper. Which it will just happen to be slow and have features missing. And rather than actually try to develop any real graphics hardware or fix the problems with the API, we'll just pay the developers to make everyone else's API look shit. And it worked for Sony, so it worked for us. And then we'll leak information about Sega's new console. What did you get on that road up there? No, that's a rail limit. It's a monorail, you can't get up there. I used to have a level editor for this. In fact, it's not hard to mod this game. It's quite fun to mess about with. Wow, I went through that lamppost. I thought that was the end for sure, but the Lord is smiling on me to the conveniently timed lightning. That's a sign.
It's a sign. I've been given a sign. They must be cast out, and I have been chosen to do it. I will destroy them with my prayers. I shall burn them with my holy cross. I will.
There we go, that's better.
That's better.
Lap record. Final lap.
You have to set the card manually on this game, but this is an unofficial DirectX 8 renderer because it doesn't like running on this machine otherwise. But the patch it's on should let it run on a modern machine. Apparently, I've not tested, but supposedly it works. So I'm actually surprised it still runs under Windows 98, because people who write such patches usually completely bust the compatibility for some reason. Some of them I've seen, I suspect, do it on purpose. On that note, shit, hit the nail on the head. What did I say? They'll release a build game that won't run on DOS or something. Iron Maiden happened. At least it's a decent game. We'll just duck behind the lamppost, why not? Try to take a bit of a different line. Okay. Well, don't usually go that way, it figures. That was cutting it a bit fine. Can you imagine seeing that in real life? A pillar hurtling towards you at 160 miles an hour. Jeez.
You've won the race.
No, you see,
you've won the knockout competition.
Made some drum and bass years ago. That's kind of like that. First game has some drum and bass sounding shit in it. No one's ever going to hear that stuff. And I'll never do it again, because I've sworn to never make drum bass, to never make dubstep. Yeah, I just... No, never doing that stuff. Let's do a tournament before I start winding things down. This should take up a bit of time. I won't beginner it again, because evidently I'm distracted and it's fucking things up. Although, I've got recordings of that malfunctioning machine playing the middies from Blood really fast. It's just what it used to do. Somewhere. I remember that I dug them out for Kynacos once a long time ago. My mouse just bugged somewhere apparently. It is on a reflective surface. My optical mice suck, but it's the only one I had to hand. Not needed to play this game, so it's fine. Let's try and kill the lap record. Oh, not going to do it driving like that. That was jabby. Let me see. That's not good. Don't want to do that. Don't want to run it into the wall yet, do I? Because I've got another lap to go.
Lap 2.
Lap 2. Off the floor.
We thought he'd retire, but this summer he's back.
Right, now I'm going for it. Finding the right way around this map is probably pretty hard because he's fucked on crack. Gee, Grand Theft Auto. You gotta make a mark move where you want to. Well, that sucked. The engine sounds in this game are trash. Some of them are awful. Yeah, that lap record's gone. We had too much of a collision there, I think. Well, sucks.
Best lap, lap 3.
Oh shit, there's 4 laps, isn't there? It's just as well I didn't roll it. I've got tournaments had 4 laps. I definitely got a rough bar in there, but it's not on an important fan, so I'll ignore it for now. So that means I've got all the LED fans. And it's probably hard to find those 4 colour ones now. I haven't seen anyone use them in ages, so I'm guessing they're out of fashion. And modern LEDs look different to old LEDs. Oh, get around there, you fucking whore of a fucking car. I've run out of whore because I put my fucking cock inside it. I mean, I'm sat in the car and my cock is attached to me, so technically my cock is inside the car, isn't it? That's why the car's playing up, the fucking gear shift is getting envious, I think. It's the fat piss lap! Oh, final lap, sorry. She's got the biggest biff laps I've seen. A fat pussy looks like a rotted out rubber tree. And her muffet smells like cod out in the sun. Yeah! And she tries to grab you by the balls, run. And look, it's Chelsea. Fat slag Chelsea. Hey look, it's her just waddling down the street. All the boys point and stare, she's quite obscene. This time it really is kind of mean. And I wonder if they've all been where I've been. She's got these big flaps I've seen. The fat pussy looks like a rotted out pussy. But it smells like cod out in the sun. It's just to grab you by your balls.
You placed first.
You placed first.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, it does get the adrenaline going this game, I'll give it that. Kind of like games like this, because it's like I said, it's as if they're constantly daring you. to go just that little bit faster, to leave that turn just that little bit later. Ah. Well, you got me then, didn't you? Get over there, stop it. Dirty tactics. Like your mom. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. It's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of money. Yeah, inspiration for birth control. No, this isn't, was it Death Rally or something? The universe is a contradiction of itself. Get around that corner. Scratch. Oh man, I'm not knocking any signs on. I should be knocking signs on it. You've got to be just a little bit rebellious, haven't you? Jesus Christ, turn, you son of a fucking bitch. Right. This isn't the final lap.
Lap 2.
It's only lap 2. Lap spew. Engine hates its life. Not blame it, not fucking tough driving it. Yeah, there's a sign.
I've been given a sign. Satan! Why would you take one of your own?
Still cannot believe the amount of people I have conversed with over the years who insist there is no synthesizer in War of the World. It's all acoustic, that music. It's not like it says synthesizers on the record sleeve in the credits or anything. It's not like it's blatantly harmonices and shit. Making half the noises. Definitely harmonices. Shit, that sounds suspiciously CS80 like. Pretty scratchy sounding synths what they used. And used them well. All things considered. Honestly, I don't like the CS80. I don't think it's fucking horrible. Wouldn't ever want to use one. I'd use a Roland D-series synth, like from the 80s, because everyone of them I've ever touched is suicidal. MT32s, I go there, but they stop working, they just paperwork. D50, I'd have gone one of those, paperwork itself, all I did was press a thing. I don't know, maybe they're unreliable or something, but... Okay, it's not the final lap, it's not the final lap, don't do anything stupid.
You beat the lap record.
Yeah, they're all
lap 3.
Roland D-series synths in my mind. I would use every one of them I could, just to rid the world of them. Ah, that's not the feature, but that's what I wanted to do. That one doesn't fall over that fence, I don't think. I'm not going to crash it, but it's fine now. Could afford to. I mean, we've got a decent lead in about 23 seconds to the next car, but one collision could cost us all of that if it's a particularly bad one. I've seen it happen before. I just noticed something rather horrible that I don't wish to draw attention to, so I'm not going to. And I will read that soon, but I I've decided I'm going to rip off those cactuses. Yeah, you can't touch those. They don't break. The cactuses, cacti, they don't burst. Like, if you hit them, they just stop the car dead. 24 seconds ahead. I'm slowly getting farther out. I don't know how far we can push this. The thing is, I don't think I can drive much faster. Well, 27 seconds briefly. It's improved you can get that much, but come on, we'll get back up to speed, please. I think we got that gain because I probably just took that way too fast, so that was ahead. But it cost us, and so we got sent back to square one. Got another lap. I'd like to get to 30 seconds ahead if I could. That would be pretty decent. I'd be happy with that. Off braking too late when we came in there. We got stuck on the sand. Just had to sort of ride it out. Oh, I got an itch. I can't scratch it. This means letting go of the wheel. Ah, that'll do. Son of a bitch.
It's the final lap.
It's the big piss flap. Yeah, my brain's just totally in the zone right now. I don't have anything constructive to say. Oh, that's not a good line. Get off of there. There we go. 25 seconds ahead. Can I get any more? Can I squeeze any more? Come on. Take a bit of a ridiculous line. Take a risk. I've got time to faff around. I've got time for a collision. So we'll risk a collision. We'll just hammer the fuck out of the car around this lap. Not good. Not good. Get back up. Get back up to speed. Come on. There we go. That's it, baby. That's it. That lost us time. Oh, they've got to slow down on that corner though, so we might get it back while they're busy back there. Oh, they've got like 4 seconds to get it. Oh, they're gaining on me. They are fucking gaining on me up here. I need more speed. Well, that's what the game's called, Need for Speed. We sure as shit have one right now. Come on, you fucking... Oh, what the fuck? I didn't touch it. John, I thought you didn't have the internet. But howdy anyway. I can't believe I blew my lead. Oh, I'm only 30-second lead, so bad. No, maybe I could have put this on expert. I might have just needed to warm up. Well, it doesn't really matter. It was all going so well. You're a bad luck omen, John. I'm blaming you for this. I'm holding you personally responsible. Lame guy, you're getting the bill for the pain. John, you're just getting the blame for me crashing into that rock.
You've won the race.
Well, there goes the paddle. Oh no, I should have saved. I should have saved. I can save in the menu. Or can I not do that in tournaments? Tournaments, I think, have different saving rules to... No, they don't. No space in the file names.
Two,
there we go.
1, go!
Yeah, go! Go, car! You, that fucking bastard! That's interesting. I figured it was probably like Spanish or Portuguese or some Latin derivative. Except that a lot of languages share words or they share roots of words. Like when you actually take them to bits. Like most European countries, like, it's basically the same language. That's hard. Like the farther you get into Western Europe, the more Germanic it becomes. The farther sort of south you go, the more Latin it becomes. But they're still inherently similar. A lot of them have the same words or very similar words, even if they don't sound similar. Oh yeah, I mean that figures. I'm sure the Spanish play a part in the history of the Philippines, but I can't remember what exactly. Like I say, every language borrows. Most languages today are just made up of things they stole from everybody else.
Lap 2.
Fuck! That was a wall. This is what happens when I read things. Which is why, you know, this isn't an ideal game to do with something like this, like a live stream or something, but I do like to pick ones that aren't good for it. It's sort of a running thing now, I think. Oh, that was a badly handled corner. That was terrible. But that lost me time. Look, they're gaining on me now. It's all about the corners. It's all about the corners. Cars got... damn it, I can't remember where I was going with this. I think I was going to start drawing comparisons to cars and motorcycles or something, but I just can't remember. Not good, not good. Shit. Hey, where does that ramp go? Is that... There's an opening up here, is that where it goes? If I get enough of a lead, I might test that on the next lap. You gotta take risks. You don't get anywhere if you don't take risks. Well, you get nothing bad, yeah, but you get nothing good either. It's the nature of the fucking world. The world is a volatile and somewhat hostile place.
Lap record. Lap 3.
Yes, lap record. Lap wrecked. With a W. Not the shitty wrecked. Fucking wrecked and fucking me. The school girl screaming, well, I popped a cherry, said it was a killer, she lied, is what she said. What's the school girl bleeders? I popped a cherry. Think it is a kid, but it's looking kind of right. I didn't want to go around that corner. Well, we got it round that corner, we just had to be a little bit firm of hand with it. I like going fast, man. It's good. It's better in real life, but I'm not allowed a license, so... Yeah, because your fucking National Health Service won't do anything about it. Right, let's see where this bit's shit. Does this serve us any time or not? I don't know, because I wasn't looking at the timer. I don't think it's worth it, that. It's going to take us a while to get back up to speed, even if we executed it perfectly, and I just fucked it up anyway. But it was worth investigating. I knew it had to go somewhere, that opening. I knew I'd investigated it before, but I couldn't remember where it went. Probably a particular line you can take that makes it really easy to enter. I'm going to try figuring it now. I don't want to throw the race.
Final lap.
The fuck is that? Chelsea strikes again. That was fucking rough. No, left it too late. That's fucking how you know it, kidder. You fucking dickhead. It's fucking range, mate. Fucking range. Fucking show you fucking dickhead. This is how you fucking... Right, I fucking know what I'm doing with cars, mate. I know what I'm fucking doing with cars. Adrian, he's just a fucking dickhead. Fucking... I swear that who had fucking twocking cars, what's he fucking got? You know, fucking mini fucking Coopers and that. Who fucking twots a fucking mini Cooper? 500s. Top fucking Ford Eye in the summer. Fucking mini Metro. Yeah, it's an appropriately garish colour at least, I suppose. I don't know why, I've always driven a pink car in this game. It just seemed like an adequately offensive colour. And the thing is, let's be honest, if you had a car like this in real life, you would want it to be some really bright colour so everybody notices it. That's why you drive a car like this. Like, if you put it on a public road, it's pointless otherwise. You can't go 200 miles an hour on a public road. What's going on? I might have a cigarette before I do any more. Sit on an angle for a while because it's cutting the blood off of my arse. There's no padding left in this chair. Worst swivel chair I've ever had this. It was really comfortable when I got it. Huh. Might have seen that in some titles. Not actually sure if this is limited 16-bit with this Direct 3D renderer. I would have to look. I don't want to poke about with it in the middle of a tournament though, that's the problem. When I've served the tournament, I guess I could. Yeah, with 32-bit. Nice thing, it's patched, but not sort of in 3DFX land anymore, where you don't have that many colours. Turn that a bit.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ah, yeah. Yeah, okay, that explains that, I guess. No, I don't think racing and smirking is necessarily a good idea. Like, if you were to do this in the real world, I imagine the consequences would be fucking dire. Like, all you need is to get smirk into your eye. And things like that like happen, but 10 times worse. Right, you son of a bitch. There we go. Unruly car. Oh, we've got us a feisty one. I like that. Shit! Oh, we just saw off the side of the map. That was worth it. You fucking get in the wall, you son of a bitch. It's that square fucking fence I was on about earlier. Shit, we just nearly fell victim to that. Yeah, don't smoke and race at the same time. It's, seems like a pretty terrible idea, or is what I'm learning here. It's wrecking my concentration to the drop. At least I'm rolling at the same time, and I can roll fags while I'm riding my bike, but that's a different story. Even then, I don't do that on roads that have cars on them, because that's just suicide. Physics are a bit weird in this game for getting airborne and shit. You can tell they've got them. I don't got to worry about
lap 2.
Beer. I can't drink. It sucks because sometimes I feel like it, but my fucking cigarette's gone out. This is where I like my facial hair. Wow, we got sparks on the grass. How do you do that? Okay, no more cigarette. Things should improve now. It's just screaming tyres every time you steer this car. Don't really like this course. Not a fan of this course. It doesn't drive good. Especially not with a car like this. That's an unruly fucking beast. And whoever designed that fence, I hope they're rotting in hell right now. Round the corner. That was nicely done, if I do say so myself. That wasn't so much. It's karma for being cocky. Being a cockhead. That was lucky. I wonder where you see the level of detail change on that road. Having said that, the draw distance is set really, really far. Can't really tell how far
You
it
beat
goes.
the lap record, lap 3.
I'd just be able to see the edge of it occasionally as we round the corner. They do a good job of making things look like forest at speed in this game, because when you actually stop and look at it, it's like a flat wall. So he's got another lap of this track left. I hate this track. I just want it to be over. It's hurting my brain. Really? Oh shit. Well, I'm making a pig's ear of it now. That's because I look away to read things. So now when I end up in a fatal accident, I'm blaming you and John for it. Either way, I can see why you would like this game. It's good fun. I don't like this level though. I can't stand this level. It's horrible. Awful level. This and the ice version of this track. Just... Right, it's not this bit, it's the next bit where I have to slow a lot. I'm going to leave it quite late. It's going to be 40. Well, we nearly screwed it up there. Was it worth it? Oh no, we're losing time. It wasn't worth it. I'll be with you in a second. Oh god, I got another lap of this lap. Just let me off of this damn track. I had my power cables taken once. It sucked. Also had the one off my Nintendo recalled. My Nintendo. It came in handy that I had a unit with a defective brick, because when I got a NES years later it didn't have a brick.
It's the final lap.
And the SNES was still in support, so I called support. I'm like, oh yeah, those had a defective power brick, yeah. So that's probably why it's not working. I'll send you another one. So they sent me another new SNES power brick. And use it with the NES. Howdy. I'll breathe back in a moment. Alright, thanks. Doing okay. Screwing up at this game a little bit here and there, but it's no big deal. It's not a good choice to live stream this game, it really isn't. It requires way too much concentration. I'd be interested to see a female streamer play this game, because supposedly women can multitask, but at the same time, they can't drive worth shit, so... I finished one not that long ago, actually, Workers of Might and White. So, yeah. So I've got this Pentium 2 running now, so I can do decent scale music again instead of having to cut corners everywhere to keep CPU load down. Uh-oh, did not take a good line though. Oh crap. That was not a good line either. It's okay, it's the last lap. We'll be off of this course soon. Like, play hopefully a better one. You watch it shove me straight on the snowbar into this. If it does, I will suicide on stream, I think. I will just end it all right now. Somebody get me a dev exit bag. Selfish way of dealing with a problem, I think, but to each their own. Right.
You beat the lap record. Congratulations. You placed first.
Oh, I'm on a CZ1 now. You know, I never understood why this country drives on that side, and I'll be honest with you, I've driven both left and right hand drive cars. I feel much more at home in a left hand drive car because to me it's natural to go for the shifter and like the handbrake with my right hand. So it feels really alien to me. I get in the car on this country and it's like, what is that doing over there? You fucking... Why am I on this side of the... Nah, CZ1. I'm on CZ1 now. Hold on a second. We'll stuff that in there. That out later on if you want. So, yeah, no. CZ101 is, but the CZ1 man is... Like, I've got a DX7. The CZ1 just kicks its fucking ass in every regard. Like, the factory sounds in the thing are obviously not that great, but you can actually make songs with them. Is like, you can't really do it with the Yamaha because they just waste time on shit like Yamaha motorbike and stuff. Obviously, I don't use factory sounds if I can help it. The ones in that are like custom sounds. A lot of LFO abuse going on towards the end. At the end of that song there's like this arpeggio sound, and it's actually all LFO abuse, just square wave in the LFO. You just turn the depth up to full. Set like the rate to something like 65. Yeah, well, I've got a Mark II. You're lucky you've got a Mark I, so you've got a factory reset on your DX7. But the Mark II has no diagnostic, no reset, and the firmware is unreliable. It's really hard to program. I can't do anything with it. I just can't get any sound out of it. Awful fucking thing. I knew I should have bought the Profit 600 instead. That was there, and I'll never be able to afford either of them again. It's a Mark II. It's a DX7 2FD. I've only ever made one fucking song on it. Had to do it using factory sounds because I cannot program the thing, and I can't even use libraries because it just corrupts the goddamn sounds. So you can imagine how hard it was to track down the factory sounds to restore, because I was going to sell it, but fucking thing doesn't work properly. I might be able to jack it into the sound when I'm done with the game if you want, but I probably won't be able to play that well because my brain will be coming down out of adrenaline mode. Not that you can play DX7s well. Awful things. Really terrible. It rates very highly on my shit list, to be honest. I had a DX100, wasn't as bad as that. It was a bad synth, but it wasn't as bad as that fucking thing. Well, that's how you do it. Tweak existing programs, and that's the thing the Casio's got, is you can copy them. You know, I mean, on the CZ1, all the slots are used, but if you get one of the smaller ones, you know, like even the 5000 or something, you've got a bunch of user slots. Although, like I say, it doesn't matter on the CZ1, you've got a factory restore button, so fuck the sounds up as bad as you want. It doesn't matter. You can just restore them if you want to. And it's easy to program, and it's easy to hook up with a goddamn computer and pull data in and out, which the DX7 doesn't do. So, yeah.
Lap 2.
But yeah, why I learned all those years ago, just copy the sounds to a user bank and fuck with it. Like fuck the DX7s, it's awful. You wonder why every song in the 80s used them same 5 sounds, because they're the only half decent noises you can get, and even those are shit. I guarantee you, my challenge is there, and I've been laying it down for years. DX owners, Roland D series owners, come at me. I fucking challenge you to get... I'm shit at music, and I challenge you to get the same level out of a DX that I can get out of a CZ. And I don't doubt someone could do it, but the amount of effort involved would just be ridiculous. It's not feasible in a production environment, certainly. And they're expensive. A DX7 cost me 800 fucking pounds. My CZ1 cost me 65 fucking quid. It's not a hard choice to make, and it's not hard to see what the better synth is. And the thing is, that's not like a recent thing, you know. People always said the CZ was garbage, and they still do for some reason. Not as much now. So that the prices were the same at the time. It's like... FM synthesis. The only thing you do with FM synthesis is make white noise and scratchy metal noises. It's just not good. I don't rate it, that's all. I'd rather be stuck with fucking linear arithmetic synthesis than FM synthesis, and that's terrible. I still wouldn't try making music with the damn thing, to be honest. It just sounds flat and lifeless, linear arithmetic synthesis. But I mean, it's Roland, but I never met anything that sounded good anyway. Yeah, the CZ1 I got from just eBay. I only got it because I was mad at the DX7. I was like, shit man, this is shit, I want a good keyboard, I should have bought that Profit. Well, I can't afford a Profit, and I can't sell this DX7, like, honestly, because it's dangerous anyway. The earth links, there's no earth on it. It's the US version, it only has a 2-pin plug. There's a capacitor that's bonded to the chassis in the power supply that references mains, and it breaks down, and it's broken down, it's gone short. So where do you think the mains power goes? Given it's an aluminum chassis. Where do you think that power goes? Oh, only on the aluminum chassis the other side of it's attached to. Well, like I said, the damn thing doesn't work right. It broke. Something wrong with the velocity in the aftertouch. Which even then, the velocity curve on it's horrible. It just ramps weirdly. I much prefer the way the CZ1 handles. Much better control over velocity. And like everything on the CZ, it has its own fucking button. It's not hidden away in menus. And every fucking menu on the DX behaves differently. Like you finally figure out what a parameter does, you go to the next menu. That menu doesn't behave the same way. You know, it's not like the CZ where you've just like digitally controlled waveform. Oh, pretty obvious what that does. Digitally controlled oscillator in the other order. Digitally controlled amplifier. Oh, that's obvious what that does. This is like fucking CST fucking BY41 fucking this. Like, this menu scrolls. Oh no, this menu doesn't. Oh, this menu crashes the firmware. Nah, fuck the DX. I gutted the damn thing, because I was going to sell it in pieces, but I don't have the room to gut it in here, so I'm probably just going to leave it out on the car. If somebody wants to take it, they can come and take it, but I wager the neighbourhood kids are just going to drag it away and smash it to pieces, which is fine by me. At least it's not my fucking problem anymore. I'm tired of it. It's taking up a lot of space in my living room. I could put something better on that stand. I could put a fucking... I don't know, give me any keyboard from fucking Argos I could put on that stand would be better than that DX7. Yeah, I need to clean the relay on my CZ1. It's a little bit, it doesn't always click over now, but I think it's just dirty. Well, it's been in there 40 some fucking years. But the damn thing's easy to service. The top just lifts off and you've got everything there. Yeah, it's a shame you don't live local. You could have had mine. I'd have given it to you for free and then you'd have had 2 of them and you could find out how terrible the damn Mark II is. Well, I don't rate the Mark 1 either because it's practically the same turn generator. Of course, the patches aren't compatible out of the box. You have to modify them to make them work on the Mark II. And I can't use any of the patches out my DX100 that I amassed in the years I was using that thing because they're not compatible with the DX7 at all. You know, it's not like the CZ where every CZ uses the same patch format, so you can use them on any model. You just lose the velocity data is all. Yeah, the CZ1's on its factory battery. The battery in my DX7's been replaced by the previous owner. I don't know if it worn out or what, he just replaced it anyway. Like, it was in new condition when I got it, there wasn't a mark on it. Looks like shit now, because I've fucking thrown it at everything in the house trying to find somewhere I can store it. But there's nowhere, because this house is tiny. You know, it's only about 230 square fucking feet that I've got, so... So, well, I'm not going to put that anywhere. I stored it in my kitchen against the wall, but the walls are only like 9mm thick and it just came through the walls. So I'm like, well, yeah, back on the stand it goes. I'll just have to put my drum machine on the floor, I guess. You know, I could just screw a bit of wood to the front of the DX7 to hold it in place. That would work. It's not like the keys work on the fucking thing. You might as well just screw through them. It's going to, like, landfill anyway, I would imagine, so... Which it would be already, but I haven't got any means to transport it, and I've lost my licence to use the fucking city's waste disposal facilities, so I can't go there. Like, I have no licence now to use the damn thing. That firing's getting bad. Yeah, I can't tell the difference between the sound of the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. It's like people who say the Prophet 5 Rev 2 and Rev 3 sound different. Like, fuck, it sounds different. You might be able to see something if you put it through like a spectrogram or something, but
You've won the
it's going to be way out of range of the human ear, I guarantee it. I am playing on the Athlon today. But no, it's not the cleaner sound, it's just FM synthesis. I don't like it. It doesn't sound good. It never sounded good. And if I want FM synthesis, well, I've got a Sound Blaster, I'll just use that. Well, actually, the Sound Blaster's ass. I'll use the Pro Audio Spectrum because they actually fucking implemented it better. Which is really interesting because the waveforms come out different. It's the same chip, but the waveforms come out differently from the Pro Audio Spectrum. When I was rendering tracker music in trackers that don't work. And no, I haven't got any more synths because I can't afford them. I'm stuck because that DX7 cost me a lot of fucking cash. I'll never be able to afford shit again. I got an Akai S3200, so that track I linked uses heavily. It's not a synth, it's a sampler. Good sampler, but Akai sold it broken out the box. Oh. You need a fucking, absolutely not, can't stand FM, but yeah, this sampler, Akai sold it broken, it needs a fan for the magneto-optical drive, and it even says in the manual, if you install a MO drive, you need the fan. Well, guess what? It's the fucking standard on this model, and they don't include a fan. So my MO disc has burn marks on it now. Yeah, well, like I said, it's versatile, so make that song. Make Workers of Might and Wake on a DX7. Do it. Go ahead, do it. I can get you the goddamn sequence for it. I will scrub out all the CZ exclusive stuff. I'll give you... Yeah, I've made drum kits on the CZ. A lot of that song is coming out of the damn thing. So do it. Go ahead. It's all talk as always. I will bet any fucking money. Which is about nil, because that's all I've got. But... yeah, I've got one. I have one song with the DX7, and even then it's shit, and it had to be scaled down. And you can hear it drifting out of tune in there, like in the weird solo. And you don't know how fucking much effort it took to do that. It's just useless piece of hardware. It just stumbles over itself, it's inconsistent. You make better music with a fucking drum machine. Well, I'll check it out, you mark my words. But yeah, I can make better music out of a stinking drum machine. But I'll tell you what we'll fucking do, I'll be obnoxious. I can remember when I could press mute in Windows to do that instead of having to pull cables out. Gotta love modern operators. Here you go. Drum machine only. Timing problems because the workstation we're on was busted, but why the fuck not? Oh well, this is kind of trancy, I know this, but with a Learn RZ1. I have a lot of fun with these. Yeah, it is. That's what it's doing here. I'm just abusing the fuck out of the sampler. But it's that, you know, nobody says you only have to learn drums in the damn thing. What else do we got? We should have some stuff with CZ drums in it. Let me have a look. That should have CZ drums in it. I want you to do toms like these on a DX. Wait for them. How many sample time do you have with the RZ? 0.8 seconds total. 4 0.2 second samples maximum. That's just a generic Just generic Tom. Sample I did know. I don't remember. I think it's something weird, like 18 kilohertz. I think the ROM samples are at a higher frequency, but don't quote me on that. It might just not be particularly good quality at recording. It's very muddy. I actually probably will use it for bass lines. Like when I get round to doing Fuck Your Sister, I probably will use it for the bass line in that, because it just sounds really dirty. I like it. But let me see. Have I got any more? Should have more shit with CZ toms in it and CZ drums. I know that had them in. Before I go back to beating this game, that doesn't. That does. It's out of Nightmare 3D, so that's probably why. Obviously that abuses. Well, that's the newest one. Hold on, but before I derail my stream with that, I'll derail it with these. This will be a good one for you to try with your DX. Everybody's done this one, I'm sure. But there's loads of metallic sounds. You should be able to do this on a DX7, I would think. Mind, I was sequencing like a T3200SX when this was done, so probably still recording with that K5 at the time. Yeah, exactly, it's supposed to be, so try this one out. Yeah, this has just been a bit silly, this. It's really not cut out for this. But try it anyway. That's something pads are something FM doesn't do. It's too scratchy. You can't get a sweeping, like, pad out of an FM synth. It's too shrill and scratchy. You sure as shit ain't gonna do that. Yep. Like you isolate the guitar channel on the solo, you start hearing like just this. Got to abuse things sometimes. Thing is, I like taking it places like this where it really oughtn't be going. It's a fun challenge. It's fucking evil. So. Yeah, there's some oddities in this. It was only really for testing. This is CZ. Everything here is a CZ1. The tracks I've just played are all CC1. It's the workhorse. I use it for bloody everything. It goes a lot further than you'd think. Like for an old, like digital programmable, you can get some. You can take it really far. Yeah, it was cheaper than the DX by quite a margin. Casio shit's always been cheap. The only thing I struggle with is brass. I can't... brass I have problems with. Like, obviously using the RZ for drums on this, because I was being lazy, is running for testing, really. Timpani's on the CZ, though. Yeah, that's the challenge though, trying to keep up with sample-based synths, because there's obviously no samples. Yeah, it gets the voice does in a lot of things as well. When I'm done with this, I'll skip in a minute, and it's long, but I'll play the likes of Light and Light, and the voice in that, I think, turned out just right. Wasn't the levels different? Let me just test some of the dialogue. Did. No samples on the CZ1 at all. Oh, it's first distortion, that's all you've got. That's why I like the challenge, you try and do instrumental things with it, so how far can you take it? The only samples in this are the drums. This uses a sampler for clanging and voices and a siren, but all like... and everything else is all... and that bashing that's going on now, that's all the CZ1. No wavetable at all. Look it up. There's no wavetable in the CZ1 whatsoever. Probably you can mimic synths really well with the CZ. Well, so if you can do this on a DX, I'd be impressed. I'll go and get a drink really fast. Same synth engine as the 5000. It's just got velocity and aftertouch on it. Just major difference. I think it's just years and years of using it as the workhorse. There we go. Voice is about to show up. Sort of a gimmick of mine. And that's why I don't use the DX as a fucking workhorse, because I don't believe it could do something like that. Especially where it sounds quite analog, which is an advantage that CZ has. It isn't really much like FM. There's, the architecture is, yeah, the way the voice and the saw are, and the fact the bass line's just a constant beat.
3, 2.
It's like tracker music if it didn't suck, basically. You don't have that constant chewing. But that's not far. There is some good tracker music out there, but there's just so much of it that's not. But yeah, the architecture on the CZ isn't really like FM at all. It's more like an analog synth that's under digital control more than anything. It's an odd beast. There's not really anything else quite like it. So when you stop trying to make it sound FM and just let it do its own thing, you can do some very neat things with it that you can't do on any other synth. Like a lot of the sound effects at the end are, yeah, they're exploiting the LFO a lot, but they're also exploiting the fact it's not an ADSR model. You've got 8 stages on the envelope generator to fuck about with. So you can make some really long-winded and complex sounds if you want to put the time in. The thing is, once you've made a few sounds, it doesn't take that long anymore, because it's pretty obvious what everything does, and it's pretty obvious when you start trying to manipulate shit, what it's actually manipulating about the sound. It's not hidden away in menus, it has its own button for those functions, so... Yeah, so it's all out there on the left and it's clearly labelled. It's like, my attack's not quite loud enough on this, I want it to stab a bit harder. What's this? Oh, DCO. Well, we'll ramp up the first stage of the EG a bit. Then we'll go to DCA and we'll play we want, stage 1 or stage 2. Level, oh, we'll ramp that up, great. Oh, we'll ramp that down a bit so it's a little bit more gritty. But yeah, the Mark II DX7 doesn't... You can't use more than one waveform. All you can do is play 2 patches at once, which even the baby CZ101 can do that. It's got tone mix. It's basically all it is. But the Yamaha can't mix them. It just plays them on different sides. So one will play on the left and one will play on the right. That's the only thing that can do.
Lap 2.
Which, when you think about it, is insulting, because it took Yamaha's flagship model to do that shit, and it can't even do it as well as the smallest model of the competing series. Like, you fucking joking me, you know. And that's why Yamaha's a fucking joke. It's badly built, it sounds awful, it's impossible to work with for anyone who's not got fucking a lot of patience. It's like that Linux argument. You know, it's only free if your time isn't worth anything. I've got better things to do. I want to make some music. I don't want to be doing math exercises. In fucking sound wave theory. Fuck that. I ain't got the patience. I'll read what's been written shortly, by the way. I can't look at it long enough right now. I need to get this game done. I've got to go and eat, and I can't drift from my schedule too much, or else I'll get rather unwell. So I need to finish this tournament. But I think there's 3 tracks left. I don't use Yamaha hardware. I use the MU, and that's it. That's basically the only good thing they ever built, was that. Fuck everything else. It's been terrible. I mean, Jesus Christ, you know, next you're going to come out and tell me the CS80 was any fucking good. It's one of the worst built fucking things I've ever seen, the CS80. It's like looking at a 1930s telephone exchange and then you're like, what? This was the 70s. Fuck off, the fucking Honda's Martinotte wasn't this fucking ridiculous internally. SCI had it right, they were using PCBs and microchips. I'd love to have a go on an Honda's Martinotte. From the 1920s, if you're wondering. And that's not the oldest synth by far. The ones before that. Which you have to wonder, you know, some bloke built one in the 1800s. Which, you know, some guy did. Before electronics was even a fucking word, really. And you have to wonder what it would have been like to be there and hear it. Because people would have never heard electronic music at that time. It must have been so fucking weird. And nobody ever recorded what that sounded like.
Lap 3.
Tell harmonium dynamophone. So isn't that piece of shit Roland built? No, absolutely not. If Roland built it, it needs to be destroyed. I'm sorry, but you cannot... Roland, I don't think I've ever heard what music is supposed to fucking sound like. Everything they built sounds like shit you'd buy at Toys R Us. Yeah, the only thing you can fucking do with it is that. Useless instrument. I mean, what's the point? If it's only good for one fucking thing, what is its purpose? I used to have an MC303 sequencer. Fuck me, that thing was useless. It went mouldy. I've got a photo of it covered in mould somewhere. I think people who are in my Discord here will tell you. I think I've shown them. Like that it'd been fucking mouldy. That piece of shit used to filter controllers and system exclusives out that it fucking didn't know what it was. And that was my sequencer back then. My PC didn't have enough power. So yeah, try fucking running an MU80 off of that. To fucking exploit the shit out of it. You had a really low limit of notes. Some old songs from back then, like 4 songs sort of joined together because the damn thing was so limited. My friend had the competing Yamaha sequencer, never had a fucking problem like that. Ironically, controlling Roland equipment with it, because he was fucking swore by the JV2080, which wasn't bad. I will give the JV2080 that, it wasn't bad, but good god my MU80 would kick its ass at fucking any test put forward. It would not even be funny, it wouldn't be fair. Like, geez, I'd even have a go at it with the CZ1 taking on a JV2080. It's better than your fucking EMU Proteus, that thing was a piece of fucking crap. The only thing you could do with that was make hip-hop. And I want to make hip-hop. Do I look like some fucking black man to you? I don't think so. It wouldn't be authentic, would it? You know, it'd be like, it's just a peer limiter, quite literally a peer limitator. Yeah, no. Terrible thing. TB, I'm not impressed by it. It's not a useful device. Yeah, like fuck it is. What, you're going to tell me the Jupiter H gun? It sounds colder than an FM synth. Horrible things. I nearly got a JX3P because they were cheap a few years back. I should get one just to laugh at it and just toss it when I'm done, because it's not really... I mean, I know that was a low-end one, it only produced saw waves, but when you look at when it's from, it's like, well, shit, you might as well just, like, get a CZ1000 or something. I'm not really into analog synths. I don't think they're very good. They needed to exist because it's the only way things were, but once you get to the 80s, they needed to die. They just served no purpose, and the only people making them weren't making them well. All the good shit came out with Profit 5s. Fucking Rolands are just humanly shit. No one wants to hear that crap. Got a friend of mine used to have a System 100, or was it a System 101? It was a 70s thing from Roland, modular synth. What an ugly, outdated piece of fucking crap that was. You put that next to a goddamn ARP Odyssey, and I started ramping knobs up because the tone generator is really unstable, and it makes this wheezing noise in the lower notes. And I'm like, fuck, I want to get rid of that. So we started ramping shit up. It just paid like thousands to restore the damn thing, and all you got was this stink of fucking silicone and like resin burning, and it's like, yo, don't turn it that hard. It's like, what, is this a thing with these? I'm not surprised, because Roland can't build reliable shit to save their fucking life. Everything I've had of theirs is broken. The only thing that's still running is that goddamn sound canvas card, which I'd love that thing to die. I've abused the fuck out of it, I've tried. Ah, no, to be fair to the System 100, it was very easy to use. Once you realised that it wasn't really worth trying to make it sound good. That trying to make it sound good would probably destroy it, so the best thing to do was just to accept it sounded crap, do what every analog modular earner does, and just stuff every knob and button somewhere random and just like, yeah, that'll do. I don't know what it's going to sound like, but it'll sound like an analog modular synth, so might as well just embrace it. Yeah, a bit out of tune at the right hand side there, but yeah, what are you going to do?
Congratulations, you placed first.
And that's how you do Roland gear. It's quite small, the System 100. It doesn't even have a full-size keyboard. It's not that heavy on cables or anything. But like I said, why would you buy that in 1975? The ARP Odyssey had been there 2 fucking years.
3, 2, 1, go!
But that's Roland for you, always behind the times, always fucking 5 years behind everybody else. And I don't know why it got that fucking... synth's got that big. Is my point. It's like... if you go back before the 60s, they were fucking tiny little things. And they were running on fucking valves. And then we've got transistors now, suddenly they look like the fucking space shuttle and they're not really any more capable. It's like we went backwards. Roland still want us to go backwards. They re-release the goddamn Jupiter every couple of fucking weeks. It's like, dude, it sucked then. It doesn't matter how much you try and polish it, it's still going to be a fucking worthless tard. Yeah, I don't use VSD plugins. My computer's not powerful enough. I'm sorry, I don't own a Cray XT5. The only VST I use is Virtual CZ to speed up programming, but even then it's not that good, because it can't read patches back out, so I still have to do that in Cakewalk. And so I'm probably not going to bother with it anymore, because I'm like, it's not that hard to do from the panel. It wouldn't be that hard to just write the sysax out by hand. They probably are, because it says Roland on it, that's what happens. A Pentium 2, which is an improvement over the fucking 386SX I got stuck with for a couple of years. Fucking hell, if I see another fucking note on a timeline on an orange gas plasma display, I think I will shoot myself. Of course I still use bloody Cakewalk, it's what I've always used. And I was using Cakewalk 3 on that fucking thing. Now I've moved back up to version 9. Yeah, fucking VSTs, man. This fucking Xeon is like a fucking quad-core beast that'll piss everything else. You ask that to run just one VST plugin, you play more than a couple of notes, it's going to start stuttering. It's like, how much fucking power do you need? and I'm convinced that's why music sounds shit now, because all the modern music authoring applications, like FL or whatever, you have no control over anything. And, you know, where are your controllers? Where are your fucking system exclusive? Well, there's no way to do it. And all the VSTs just kill the machine in no time. So you can't make decent music. That's why everything on the radio now sounds the same and sounds shit. Because it's the only way you can make music at all with this shit that you get now. Yeah, I got Kirkwalk down pretty fast because I got it from Bobby Prince and he was pretty open and been asked questions about it. And his old fucking website all that time ago used to have a link to it on the front page. And then I befriended some guy from the US and he used it religiously, so he knew all the ins and outs. No, I don't listen to that shit, because I'm not being fucking arrogant or anything, but it's below me. I can feel it killing my fucking brain cells. It's all self-entitled bitches who don't sing, they're all just... That's it, that's in 5 seconds if you're lucky, it'll just loop. Or it's some fucking coon song glorified with some black guy standing there saying how rich he is. So, I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear how rich you are. My life fucking blows. Fuck you, I'm poor. So it makes me want to either smash the radio or start killing the people responsible. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to settle for smashing the radio because they're all put fucking huge walls around their houses. And they live halfway around the globe. So it's not like I go and throw eggs at them. And fuck this, I'll listen to my fucking music I like. I'll stick to my Eurodance, I'll stick to my fucking melodic death metal, I'll stick to my fucking waltz, I'll stick to my classical, I'll stick to my 80s ballads. Fuck this shit. I can tell one song from the other. My mother's like, oh, this song, that song. I'm like, you expect me to know this shit? I don't listen to it. Oh, you showed me it, but they sound the fucking same. I can't tell the difference. It's not fucking music. You need more than like 1 bar to make a fucking song. What is this fucking... I'm sure, I am confident, like there is... I don't know shit about music, you fucking know, I know very little. But there is obviously that concept of monotonic music. Music that features one note in one time. Which is... Like, technically you can do it. And I swear we've actually achieved it with pop music. I've heard songs that don't have notes at all, you just have like a... drum beat with some fucking bitch wailing over the top of it. Oh, that's not fucking... It's like proto music. Fucking Bard song has like more fucking coherency and complexity than this, and actually sounds quite nice. I used to keep roller canaries years ago, them fuckers can sing. I don't know, that's what it... I swear I've heard a song like that or two on the radio. There might be like 10 different songs, but you expect me to be able to differentiate that shit. I thought about making some as like a piss take, but I'm just not. I refuse to sink to that level. It's the same with shit step. It's like, I'm not making fucking dubstep. I thought doing it as a joke, but I'm like fuck, I'm not sinking to that low. Screw that, I'm low enough as it is. I come from the same fucking city as Throbbing Gristle. Do you think I need to make it any fucking worse? And Rob Hubbard, who's actually good, but... And Mick fucking Ronson, Jesus Christ, they got a road named after him on this estate. Yeah, I grew up listening to fucking Sex Pistols and shit, because it's what my mother used to play before she turned lame. Fucking decent amount of Megadeth as well. I have some fucking Megadeth, there's some fucking thrash metal going. And of course, it was the 1990s, so you had Eurodance everywhere. So I had a hell of a lot of that. And earned most of the equipment used to make that shit. I've got the Corgo one. It's a very unyielding synth. That is a synth that is worth putting time into though, because that fucking thing, the Corgo one, fuck me, that thing's powerful if you want to invest the time. I think if you knew the ins and outs of that, which would take a great many years, I'm a long way off. But if you put the time in and learned the ins and outs, I think anything would be possible with the Euro 1. And the Akai S, and that was basically every fucking Eurodance song, aside from they'd sample one note off of an old analogue they find in the closet sometimes. I think Mr. Vane has a PPG wave in it somewhere. Rhythm is a Dancer, like Rhythm is a Dancer actually sounds like it's actually coming straight out of the synth to me though. That doesn't sound like sampler. It sounds like a pretty old synth they used for that to me. Like just the muddiness of the bass line, if nothing else. Yeah, called Ur-1. The Ur-1R. Don't ever get the Ur-1R. It's cheaper, but it doesn't have a floppy drive, and Korg didn't support the damn thing. Finding cards is just a pain in the arse. You will not find them, and they'll cost you a lot of money. So you're stuck with only the 200 internals sound. And the GM mat you can get for it doesn't really work, but unless you're willing to intervene. Oh, and you can't control effects or anything remotely, so you're going to be doing everything on the little LCD with only 2 buttons. And the backlights invariably die on them. It's a huge problem, but if you're willing to put in the time and you're willing to put in the cash to repair one, that thing is fucking powerful, and it has some epic as fuck noises you can make come out of it. It's probably one of the last real synths. The AI2 engine. Very, very competitive with AWM2, I would say. It's basically the sequel to the M1. Similar technology to the M1. It's like the M1 but better. Which is where the name comes from. O1W, it's M10 upside down, and that's what they were going to call it, but they printed it on the wrong way up. Oh shit! Lapsing concentration. Yeah, you'll be hard-pressed, and my demos of the Ur-1 aren't good. I wouldn't listen to them because it was broken back when I made them, and I didn't know. So I thought it was a really bad synth at first, and I keep meaning to delete those because it's not an accurate representation. It wasn't working right. It needed to be repaired. I don't know much about Korg shit either, because all the later stuff they made, the only thing you can do with it is make trance music, but yeah, the Ur-1R was the synth of the 90s.
You placed first.
Every song until about 1997 will have at least some Korg Ur-1R in it. Loads of movies as well. It's fucking everywhere, it's abundant. Unfortunately, I have like no real anything with it in. Well, you got samples of it in that, but this is like retiring the S2000, so everything was coming out the S2000. I've just Although technically stuffing it through the sampler is more accurate because that's what they did in the 1990s. They rarely used the real synth because it's just such an unyielding thing and it's that hard to program. It was easier just to sample it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, well it is. That's where that piano sound came from in all those songs that were about back then. That was the One's, I can't remember the name of the patch. And obviously that bass was in loads of songs. But yeah, a lot of people don't seem to be aware of it for some reason. But even out of the box with the factory sounds, you've basically got a 90s music factory on your hands. You can just fucking make it sound fucking 90s songs all fucking day. But whilst it can play like multiple channels, it's not worth it because there's just not much control. It's better just play one at a time. Which again, you know, if you want to be authentic 90s, what you need is you need an old Akai S series like that fucker what's on here. And you need to ramp the bandwidth down about halfway so it's sort of scratchy and like muddied up a bit. And that's how you get it to sound right. It's a bit of an art form, it takes a bit of getting used to. But it was the last good time for music. There was like the odd good song in the 2000s, but 90s had loads of good shit at the start of the decade. Then we got to like 97, and all of a sudden all the good music went away as if by overnight all the nice Eurodance was gone, and suddenly we had bubblegum pop, fucking neo country, and a bunch of fucking Hispanic crap, and it was really bad. It's like, where did this come from? Why? It started so promising. So every decade we go into, I think, oh well, this decade started bad, maybe it'll do a reverse 90s, and then good. Maybe we'll get those last 3 years that we should have had then. It just never happens, it just gets worse and worse. And even metal's got a bit shit now, a lot of it. It's like... Because even metal in the 90s, you know, it wasn't all fucking dance music. Fucking metal in the 90s was fucking... even got in the charts back then. Yeah, most of my favourite songs are from a fucking broad fucking time period. Like... I'll read what you've just written in a second, though I'm going to concentrate. There's a lot of... It's an awkward bit of the track. I got a nice straight coming up past the finish line, though, where I'll be able to glance up there. Whoops, that was a mistake. Yeah, I am... No, it doesn't matter. You fucking write the damn messages, man. That's what the boxes are for. Yeah, I can't be alone where if I start a YouTube video and I hear shit step, I just turn the video off. Like, that's not just me, is it? Like, someone else has got to do that. You start, oh, this video looks interesting.
You beat the lap record.
It's like, the floppy drive's broken, turn it off, and just shut the video off. Like, it can't just be me. I do the same on television, but I don't have television. I'm not paying a licence, there's nothing good on. They cancel fucking Robot Wars now, so there's fuck all on telly to watch now. All the other good shows are long gone. There's no more Scrap Heap Challenge, there's no more Full Metal Challenge with fucking Kathy Rogers. Fucking better than Philip the Forester in my opinion, but that was the old argument back then, you know. I'm glad they cancelled Robot Wars. The fucking Coopers were mismanaging the fuck out of it, but... Still sad. No more TV. I got a radio, but... Like, my stereo has a radio in it, but, like, fuck, I'm listening to that shit. Broadcasted pirate radio before. And I did some radio for my book. You know, as well, because the radio station gets mentioned a lot, so I wanted to make sure my description of how bad it sounded was accurate. But they're alright, they're stuck in the 80s, you know. Hit this hill. Oh, it's still got off the ground, damn it. You get some real speed here if you've got the balls and the competence to do it, but... So how far there you go before you bottle it like that? Yeah, well that's the thing, I stopped because I find it condescending, like, there was no good programmes on anywhere. I haven't watched any movies that have come out in recent years either, because a lot of them are remakes, and what's the point? You know, it's already a good movie, why am I going to buy a worse version of a movie I already own? Especially if it was a foreign film, it's like my favourite movie is Old Boy, and and so they remake it in the US, and I'm like, well, I'm not watching that. You're going to ruin the film I like. Even if it's good, it's going to change, you know, my perspective. Fuck that. But yeah, television, I find television, the way it presents itself... Oh yeah, they've tried. They've tried like fuck to make me pay a licence. I'm not paying it. I refuse. They ain't getting a penny out of me. I'm like, no, I don't support your fucking TV network. I don't support your propaganda, and I don't support your fucking programmes. You're not making anything for me. Why should I pay you? I'm not watching it. I don't benefit from this. But yeah, like I said, it's like it talks down to you. That's what really grates on me. When I'm in like other people's houses and they have a TV on, it's like the fucking music. I can feel it killing my brain. It's like they talk to you like you're a fucking child with disabilities. Like everything's got to be explained in like really simplistic. Well, here's what we're going to do, and this is how. Just get to the fucking point. I ain't stupid. Oh yeah, I mean, geez, I'm waiting to send someone round to my house, and when they do that, don't accept anything they try and give you. If they try and give you a letter, you fucking make sure you don't accept that letter, that it doesn't get through your door, because that's classed as acceptance. Like, you know, you need to be really careful with that. They didn't send anyone round to antagonise me yet, so... Yeah, it's absolute fucking robbery. Oh shit. There's no way that's a fucking rob. Write it then. It's almost always convenient. Usually it seems to wait until the car goes past, but I guess they get fingerprint reason. Well no, so you shouldn't. You're not obliged to open that door. There's no right to be on your property. It's fucking bullshit. You can't do anything in this country now. Can't have anything, can't do anything. It's fucking sterile. It's like a fucking... I don't know, it's like that fat middle-aged teacher you had that was like... She had these really shit fucking rules. And she smelled funny, you know. It was just horrible. Just filled you with like this deep-seated rage. I think that's who probably is running this country now, behind the scenes. It's just fucking... absolute mess. And I give up. I've tried fixing it. I've tried voting the fucking country into a better fucking place. I've tried fucking informing people about the situation, and nobody fucking listen. Because British people have this thing. They're a very prideful people, and among the things they're proud of is being uneducated fucking idiots. Like, if you try and educate somebody, they won't listen. They will go out of their way. They will even stuff their fingers in their ears when you start demonstrating things to them that they can't refute, and it's fascinating, and it's also unnerving. It's like, you know, how fucking are you asleep or something? Like, Jesus Christ! Like, you actively choose to be misinformed and ill-informed. It's fascinating. But I don't like British people, like I said, they're assholes. Out of all the people I've met, they're among the worst. But I don't like them, especially not in this city. This city's fucking awful. I don't get along with people from Hull. They're fucking dickheads. They're among the stupidest and the most arrogant and the most fucking rude that I have fucking met. Never had a friend from this city. I've never burned a girl from this city because there's just something wrong with the people here. They're fucking awful. And they're fucking ugly anyway. Even the accent's bad, you know, but it's like, at least I didn't inherit that somehow. Well, yeah, exactly. I had to catch and watch it. Oh, I thought I was already on the final lap. God damn it, I hate this level. Yeah, I'm fucking late for my fucking meal. And my medication for my gut. Oh, well, whatever. I'll weather it. It's only once. But yeah, it's like, it's not like you can leave, you know, it's like, oh, you're free to leave. It's like, yeah, you are if you've got money, but there's no fucking jobs here, so I can't get money. Because that's, well, it should have been 2 AM. I'm fucking late on it. The fucking thing, you know, it's like, well, get money, get a job. It's like, what? I can't, no one will fucking employ me because I demand minimum wage, you know, and I'm white and I'm British and I'm a man. So like, fuck, I'm gonna get a job. Fuck, I mean, why do you think I live here now? They kicked everyone off my old estate to bring foreigners in to work on the fucking wind turbines. It's like, fuck your fucking wind turbines. Why don't you build a nuclear plant or something? I'd support that. It's just bullshit. Yeah, like fuck, I'm never leaving because the system's not set up to do that. It's set up to make you dependent on it, so you'll keep voting for it again. It's like, post-industrialised, yeah, post-industrialised means bitch, is all it means. It means you're now dependent on someone else. So you're like, well, you're dependent on us because we've taken your jobs, but it's like, yeah, but now you're dependent on everyone else, so now your plan didn't work because now you're just a puppet, so... But like I say, what can you do about it? I tried to fucking... I did my fucking part. I can't change shit. So... Right, well, at least I took the time to learn this instead of remaining blissfully ignorant. And there's a lot of ins and outs I won't discuss on the live stream, but... Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. There's a lot of lies, there's a lot of bullshit. I need a drink, but I'll wait until the race is on. It's not far now. Definitely cramping up my feet. Whoa! Please land on the wheels. There we go. That was a fucking good landing. Yeah, that's my thing. I try not to think about it as much. Of course, you're forced to quite often, though, because shit just happens. There's shit that affects you, and that's the thing. I'd really like to just shut myself away and ignore it, and I tried for a long time. Like, well, this isn't affecting me, just ignore it. But that's the problem. Now it's crapping on my doorstep. It does affect me now. So it's like, I can't ignore it as much as I'd like to. You know, it's...
Congratulations! You've won the beginner tournament.
Oh, is that it? Well, shit, I'll have a smoke and I'll wind this down. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I can do this, but I'll try to do it. Let me have a look. That's not gonna do that, is it? Yep, that didn't sound particularly healthy. Well, tough shit. I'm used to electrical problems in this fucking building. No, I don't want that plugged in. Oh. Why is that? That shouldn't be an issue, should it? Why has that been a... Oh, fucking bastards. Yeah, it is. It's Scissor Woman Jemima. Possibly the only character I might contemplate looking at Rule 34 of, if there was any, but even then not likely. I prefer the real thing. Let me see here, I can add an audio source to this, can't I? Because Windows fucking everything after XP is stupid. I can just repurpose the microphone port. I'll just turn it on and off. You know, it just struck me up. I didn't just deafen anyone because I didn't actually look at the levels. I'm really sorry if I did. Because it's really hard to tell, because obviously it doesn't latch on, like, you know, there's no real-time shit in this fucking operating system. It's deaf like that. Yeah, I quite like that sound. It's quite useful to stuff in the background of things. It reeks of 80s-ness though, it really does. Let me see what else can I do with that sound. Yeah, no FM synth though, it's all phase distortion. We notice it does have velocity and aftertouch on the CZ one. So you do some really neat stuff with it. Hold on a second, I always like doing this. No, they're absolutely nothing alike. It does not work anything like FM. Honestly, have a look at how it works. The only similarity really is that they're digital. It's the tone generation method is nothing alike. No, the reverb's coming from the MU90's effects unit. So well, I can run it without reverb, but it means disconnecting shit. I can't really bother. Everything's going to have reverb on it, so everyone does. Right, see what else I got before I fucking quit. It's an ancient myth. They're really not much alike. They're completely different engines. under the hood. Like, you only have to program the thing to figure that out. It's not FM, it's its own thing. But it's the fact that all the big fucking it's all the fucking big magazines and shit didn't like Casio being in the market, so they did everything to discredit it they could. And you can tell most of them have never actually owned or played one. They're really not much alike. Aside from being digital, there's just not that much in the way of any similarity. And like I say, Casio's implementation is definitely better. There's no way that I think you could do half of this shit with a DX. I just don't think it could get there. FM synthesis just can't. It's not varied enough. It's too scratchy. It's too fucking. That's it. The only thing I managed to do with FM, and it's just aside from shit I wrote with the ad-lib years ago. It's not a stable synthesis method, FM. It's a conclusion I've come to. It doesn't like being in tune. It's just rough. Where's that shitty solo? Yeah, it will be, because nobody ever changed the factory presets, that's all it is. That's the only song I ever wrote with that DX7, it's just... you can't do music with that thing. It's about the best you could hope for, I think, really. It's just... yep, that song, that was the only song that ever came out of the DX7. There was supposed to be in other things. It was supposed to be in Workers of Might and Wike early on, but it just never happened because I couldn't get the damn thing to work properly. It's too stubborn, and the firmware's just unstable. Yeah, it drifts out of tune a lot. Like, it did it in that song, like, that bend on the end. I didn't put a pitch bend on the end of the solo, it was just the synth drifting. And it does it, like, in the middle of things, and it doesn't matter what patch, like, oh, that program probably, well, no, because it'll do it on the... I'm sure you've been on Discord when I've been playing it into it before, like, to show the sort of shit that was happening, where it was just going fucking weird. There's something wrong with the aftertouch would be my guess, but it's not as easy as like the CZ where you can just turn it off. You'd have to go through a load of menus and shit, and you'd be there all day. And of course nobody ever really wrote any documentation on how to use the fucking thing, so it's not even a way to shortcut it. You know, Yamaha's manual for it has no instructions, it tells you just to buy books. Yeah, it doesn't tell you anything about operating that side of the synth. It tells you how to plug it in and turn it on. It's like, oh, you want to do that? Well, buy these books. They'll be published through the Yamaha School of Music. It's like, oh, right, well, they weren't, so now we're screwed. You know, what are we going to do now? I've got a better idea. I'll just buy a Casio. My song is 6 beats, yours only has 4. It's really boring, why don't you use more? And I got my course, it's just such a bore. How the whole world plays in fucking 4/4 like Nobody ever uses the last 2 operators anyway, though. Again, the gauntlet's there. Do this shit with the DX and come back, but I'm not going to believe it. But like I said, no one ever uses the last 2 operators. Like, I doubt if anything's utilising all of that shit. Because it doesn't... It's like too much. It just gets mushy at that point. I mean, fuck by that argument, what's the Casio only got 2 or something? Because you've got 2 lines. Certainly. Yeah, the first thing I worked with was the Yamaha 262. That was on old sound cards, but I didn't rate it. It was just all I had for years. Well, I took it further than it probably should have gone, but it didn't ever sound good. It's just like, this synthesis method doesn't work. It's okay to put in a novelty device or something. You couldn't really use it for anything serious. Like maybe the odd sound, you might be able to get bass sounds out of it, maybe. But even then, it's going to take you a while. You might as well just use a more capable synth from the get-go. Which is probably why nobody uses like the fucking ad-lib to do that shit. It's just not worth it. And then I got a CZ1000 because I needed a controller keyboard. All I had was a shit little 2-octave thing, and I fucking hated it. It was some Roland fucking PC something or other. No control over anything, really unreliable, just awkward to use. And so it was like, right, well, fuck that, you know, what can I get cheap? And the 1000 was really cheap because everybody said they were trash and that they sounded shrill and horrible, and so I got one, and it's like, oh, it doesn't sound as bad as they made out, let's fuck about with the programming. Fucked about with the programming, and I made this really fucking obnoxious sawtooth pad. And it's like, hang on a minute, you know, this thing's actually kind of angry. I don't know what the fuck they were writing. I don't think they've actually played with one for very long, if at all. And that was how I got sat on that. And it broke, and I was without it for years. I just had a shitty 2-octave controller and my MU80, and that was it for a long time. And that MC303, which was just fucking... Ugh. I have nostalgia for the FM synth that used to be in PCs, but it doesn't sound good. Like, it's objectively terrible. Like, it's not a good noise. It sounds better than a lot of the wavetable cards, because a lot of the wavetable cards they made were just shit. But it's not a good method of synthesis. I'm not going to cave in on this. It's just not. You know, it was half the reason I did Monkey Island, because I was like, what the fucking... I didn't use the sounds in the MC303, I just used the sequencer. Like, fuck, I was using those noises. It's like, fucking Roland made this, they're probably not in tune anyway. You know, it's probably like that sound canvas. Fucking Mario Kart shit. Fucking Big Boss Man shit. Awful stuff. Fucking sound canvas. Fucking that fucking thing. That like probably just sounded like that because that fucking gets everywhere. But it was all I had. It was free. It was all I could afford back then. I never thought it was good. I have like weird nostalgia for it. When I look up like music I made with it, which I'm never fucking showing anybody, and I have my reasons, and Lame Guy knows like reasons like that. But it's just fucking. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's bad. I've got nostalgia for the thing. I look at it fondly, and I'm like, man, I kind of miss it, and I miss the challenge, and I miss the simplicity. As in, it's simple to the point that it's complicated as fuck to make it do anything. But I would never go back to it. Well, yeah, fair enough. Like I say, use that FM and like that FM. But come back when it's going to match what's coming out of the CZ, because nobody's done it yet. I've challenged people, I've listened to things, and the only fucking thing I've had on all of the internet, aside from what I did with my DX7, the only things I've had are like... Let me see if I can find this. What is that fucking thing? Like, most keyboard demos are just people pushing random keys, and like, fuck, I can be bothered with that. Where is that thing? Everything you're going to hear is this, which props to this guy. Tried to make his own fucking sounds, but... Ah, jeez, I don't have it. No, I might do, because I know somewhere I'd started trying to mimic that Paddy did in the opening with the CZ, just to take the piss. It might not have been this one. I don't think it was this one. I know somewhere I was screwing about and I was like trying to mimic his fucking crappy pad. But I was at... Yeah. It is that one. And I'm actually programming that real time as I record it. Now you think the sound we started with to where we are, go that fast on a DX, you just won't get there. See, I can do scratchy shit as well, but then I can do things like that. But it's funny, you know, I can sit there and mimic the DX all fucking day, and yet nobody will come back to me. Nobody with a DX and nobody with a D50 or anything has ever come back to me on it. And so the only conclusion I can draw is you just can't get there. Oh yeah, sure, the DX has some advantages, but it's not worth putting the time in. I'd rather just, like, mimic it with the CZ, because it takes less time. And if I got a problem, I can fix it with, like, EQ or something usually. It's like, well, you know, we'll mute this bit out, which it tends to be more muting than ramping things up, because it's easier to make something sound quite deep, and on the CZ I find. The DX is just all fucking treble. So you've got to start cranking basses up and shit. It's like, do I really want to do this? And it's just like, no, I don't. What a waste at 800 quid, you know, it's like... Well, and what I want from it is to make music, basically. That's all I want to do. I want to create music. And I expect it to be able to do that out of the box. I don't want to have to faff around with it. That's why I don't like old analogues, because 90% of running an old analog synth from the 60s through to a good chunk of the 70s, and if companies like Roland had their way pretty much forever, a good 90% of it was fucking about with the thing rather than actually making any fucking songs. And it's like, I don't have the patience. Maybe I'm getting old or something, but I just can't be bothered. I mean, like I say, on that test, you heard the starting sound was my, like, soy pad that I was fucking about with before. And I, in that time, programmed that to sound like that guy's DX pad. And you wouldn't be able to do that with a DX7. You would be there for fucking hours in all these menus, and like I say, the whole time you're going to be scared the firmware crashes. And it probably will, and then you're going to corrupt the whole fucking bank. And even if you can use a computer to store it, the floppy drive's useless. You can only use that with cartridges. And fuck owning cartridges. And if you can get the computer to do anything, the DX7 can only move 32 patches at once. It can't move just one. You can only dump or load one whole bank. It's like, why can't I do just one? Well, again, Casio's got this down, and they're supposed to be shite, apparently, so... This thing's like, it costs way more, and it was actually made later, the DX7 too. It's from 1987, I expect better. You know, there were synths in the 70s that had this down. Well, yeah, but there's the thing. I used FM for years, as I explained, and I never found it particularly yielding. It's just horrible. The way it works is just awful. There's no ifs or buts about it. Like, you could get it to sound good, I'm sure. There's something good in there. You can hear it has that potential, but it's not the potential to be anything brilliant. It's the potential to be something decent at best. You know, it's not like the Ur-1. The Ur-1 is a pain in the arse to work with. Like, there are so many fucking options. And the thing is, the Ur-1's its own worst enemy, because it's such an advanced piece of equipment. Like, I would be amazed if there have been many synths that are that advanced. But the downfall of it is, it's that advanced in 1991, so you don't have touchscreen, you have one data entry slider and 2 buttons, and that's practically everything. And there's just so many fucking things you have to do. And so it can take hours just to make one sound, but the difference with the Ur-1 is that you can make pretty much any sound imaginable. Like, even a lot of the drum sounds in 90s songs, even like that weird Italian shit, was like, with all the... It was sort of like Eurodance with industrial clangs in the drums. And a lot of that came out of the Ur-1, because it can just do that shit. What, the Ur-1? The Ur-1's its own thing. That's the same as the M1, it's just better. Like, it's the M1 enhanced. The CZ, though, no, absolutely not. It's a completely different synthesis engine. If it was the same synthesis engine, it'd sound the same. You know, that would be like the the Sega Mega Drive is the same synth, essentially, just the fast and fourth operators are swapped to the DX100. Which I know, that's the only reason I had a DX100 was because I was doing Mega Drive shit at the time in a community I'd rather not really talk about, but... So, you know, that's the same engine, you can tell. They don't sound exactly the same, but they're patch compatible. You can tell it's the same synth, even where it's not. It's like, you know, it's... You can flip the operators in whack. Well, it's more like it's inspired by it. You know, it's... The engine is not much alike. It really isn't. It's an old myth that won't die. The CZ's turn generation is really nothing like FM. Like, FM works by... Like, if we break it down to, like, the most base principles of what's going on, in simple terms, FM synthesis basically just makes sine waves. And how it works is by bouncing those sine waves into each other fucking weirdly. And you can tell, because when you're trying to work with it, you've got all these fucking noises everywhere, a lot of which are out of the range of hearing. But yeah, I am, and I'm explaining it to you now, and I'm starting to honestly... And I will be honest with you, because I don't give a fuck what people think of me, but I'm finding it really hard to take you seriously. Like, I'm questioning how much you actually know what you're on about. I don't know what the fuck I'm on about. Yeah, that's what I'm explaining. And it's a horrible way of doing things, because you've got all these stray frequencies everywhere, which is another reason it's a bastard to work with. Like, when I started getting adventurous with the fucking shitty 262, well, I don't know if you do. I'm starting to question it, so I'm explaining it to you. So when I started to getting adventurous, I'd have all these stray fucking frequencies everywhere. They're out of the range of hearing, it's annoying. But that's how it works. A bunch of sine waves, and that's all you can do. It's sort of like the JX3P could only make saws, but that's Roland, so no doubt was brilliant, apparently. But the CZ doesn't work that way. What you've got is a waveform, which various waveforms doesn't really fucking matter. You've got, well, eight of them, but I mean, you can mix and match them, so I mean, you've got like 30-something total, in theory. But essentially what you're doing is offsetting the time of different things in that waveform. So you're not bouncing waveforms into each other, you are slanting the waveform. No, it's not the same as FM. I don't understand how you think that slanting a waveform is the same as bouncing waveforms into one another. This is why FM needs all these lines, and PD only needs a couple of them. In fact, you can do the whole thing on a single line. Because the tone generation's completely different. It's, in principle, more like an analog synthesizer than a digital one. It's really unusual, because there's nothing else like it out there, that's the thing. It may be inspired by FM somewhere down the line. It might use some of the same electronics somewhere. I don't think it does, but there may be some obscure part in there, maybe some DAC or something, which would surprise me, because the DACs Yamaha used are fucking trash, and only work with Yamaha chips as far as I'm aware. I'd be interested to know what CPU the DX uses. I know what the CZ has. It's a Z80 derivative, like most things in the 80s. Yeah, but this isn't using algorithms. There's no fucking algorithms. You're just slanting the damn waveform. You've got 8 stages of envelope to fuck about with the waveform on each one. It's going to do a bunch of interpolation in the middle. If you really push it, you can actually hear the interpolation going. Which is what I was on about in that Grabag track. You can hear this weird whacking sound, because you're sort of right on the edges of what the synth engine would do. I mean, you wouldn't get that far with a DX. It would just devolve into white noise long before you started making a sound like that. Well, it's digital. Technically, anything digital, you could probably devolve it into an algorithm. You can make the argument, but it's not algorithms like the DX. Yeah, they call it a different name because it operates differently. It's like gas car, diesel car. Like, they're combustion engines, but they don't work the same way. I mean, geez, by that logic, linear arithmetic synthesis is the same. I mean, you know, you've got waveforms. There'll be some algorithm somewhere in that because it's digital. It's like a digital fucking... I hate fucking linear arithmetic synthesis. It's one of the last fucking things. Like, you know, you might as well make that argument. It'd make about as much sense. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all the same. They're all fucking synthesizers, right? So they must work the same way. I'm pretty certain those old organs that people used to put in the corner of their house are like the same, because they make sine waves, right? That must be the same fucking thing. And I do know Yamaha made some that ran on FM before you say anything, which probably the worst ones of the bunch, but completely different concept. Yeah, but it's not the same, it's vastly different, that's my point. There will be some similarity somewhere, no doubt, because I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to make sound with a bunch of digital hardware. There's going to be a bunch of similarities. Well, the CZ has a built-in chorus slider on the larger models, but I mean, that's a really simple analog circuit to make, and anyone can stuff that on. Yamaha's DX7 has that as well, to be honest. It just doesn't work properly, because it's split into each audio channel. You have to play two patches at once. So to do it on the Yamaha, you have to halve the polyphony to make it anyway useful. Because, I mean, the only way you can do it is sort of like the equivalent of turn mix mode. But, I mean, on the Casio, you can stack them, so... Because it's not achieving that through just sort of kludging. It's achieving it through actually having a feature. Which is fascinating when you think how much less it costs, especially now. Well, they might have done, but... I mean, that's pretty piss poor when you think about it. I mean, there's not that great a distance between them, is there? So where's all that money going if they work the same way? I mean, surely, you know, you've got all this advanced hardware in there. I mean, it costs that much more, it should be so much fucking better. You know, it's what are you paying for here? Clearly it costs more to develop. There's obviously some difference in the operational principle. These things are documented out there. You can go and find them. You don't have to take my word for it. Like I say, I use that synth every day. I'm not an expert on the damn thing, but I know my way around it. You know, as I am saying one's better, because I've worked with both of them, and one of them has repeatedly produced better results, so it's pretty hard to say otherwise. I'm not defensive about it, I'm explaining it to you. I'm explaining, so that's the fucking point. You want to have a discussion about it, I'm having a discussion. No, I'm having a discussion because you started the discussion. I was probably talking about the video game and you started talking about synthesis. And then demonstrated you don't really know anything about it, which is probably why your synthesizer's still broken and I'm producing music with mine. In fact, just spent fucking four-figure numbers to build a machine to fucking keep working with the thing instead of, oh, I'll do something later. Oh, I'll do something later. Oh, I'll do something later. Oh, I'll do it later. And that's why, that's probably a factor in it. I mean, what's the point in fixing something you can't operate? Well, I'm just saying, man, that's how it comes across. I mean, I don't care. You can fall off, start a hate brigade or whatever if you want to. I mean, that's what most people would do. So, whatever it is. But you started a discussion, you demonstrated you had no understanding of the theory of how these things operate. I tried to explain the principles on which they operate, and you just sit there and insist and insist and insist. Was this like 2 decades worth of hammering both of these technologies and taking them a lot fucking further than most people, and pretty much single-handedly doubling the price of a piece of equipment just because nobody else had done it before? And that's probably the difference here. Without being cocky, I admit I'm fucking trash at this shit, but Well, I'm about done with this stream anyway. Like, you know, it was fun to fucking blast some Need for Speed. It was fun to debate things with the uneducated. But I ain't got all day. No, I started explaining it. I don't understand why that's so hard to grasp. Like, the principles on which they operate are very, like, they're not really similar at all. It's immensely dissimilar. No, I've said, prove me wrong. Like, you know, this is what I say to everybody with a DX, everyone with a fucking D, everybody with fucking anything, is prove me wrong. Like, take your synth, take the shit I've done and I've said, I will dig out cakewalk files. I will scrub out all the exclusives and shit for my synth. I will scrub it out so it's just note data. So there's no weird controllers and shit going on that's going to fuck up your equipment and knock it out of fucking tune. That is a bug on the CZ1 because those controllers weren't standardised. You send certain controllers up to that, they don't do the same thing. They affect like master tuning and shit. It's a fucking nightmare if you knock the wrong fucking key. Like when you're inputting that shit in the event list, but you know, that's the way things was. It wasn't standardised yet, so what you're going to fucking do? But nobody ever takes it up. And the only people who have never come back with anything. So what the fuck conclusion am I meant to draw? Jesus Christ, this thing needs gas, I think. Either way, man, I'm around, you know, if you want to discuss it further sometime, I'm around here. I've got fucking Discord, I've got YouTube, I've got fucking email, I've got SoundCloud. You know where I am, but I don't know that I can be bothered to really continue it much further. And anyway, I'm tired, I've got to eat. So I need my fucking gut medication, and I want to turn this damn Athlon off before my house burns down, because these things aren't exactly the most reliable machines, and it's the only one I've ever built that fucking works. So I am bailing out on that note. Oh my god. Well, what did I say about Athlons not being the most reliable machines on the planet? There we go. That's a perfect example. Oh great, we're going to be stuck in a no shutdown loop now, are we? Probably. Oh no, we got it. So that is that. I will return at some point someday with I don't know what. See you around, and thanks for watching, and thanks for interesting discussions.